Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome. So today's topic is how to become a devotee entrepreneur. So I'll take a couple of minutes to introduce myself, why you should be here for the next one hour or so. So my name is Avelo Roy, materially legal name, and my Dikshit name is Ajita Das. And I started my journey while second year in college, studying at the Illinois Institute of Technology in Chicago. This is the CEO conference in 2007, I'm sorry, 2007. And that's when my journey started. In college, built my entrepreneurial products while becoming Krishna consciousness through college preaching program, which I got introduced to. So my devotional journey and entrepreneurial journey started hand in hand. While building various preaching programs, philosophy talks, Chinese preaching, meditation classes, Krishna house, drama, Krishna talks, lot of preaching on campus. I was learning actually a lot. I'm an engineer by degree, but I learned marketing and people management and all of that by actually serving Lord Chaitanya's movement, right? And with that understanding, built these businesses in US, Canada, Hong Kong, and eventually in India, starting with Kolkata Ventures. Been honored by the California State Senate, given 4 TED Talks, and Kolkata Ventures was my business when I came back to India back in 2016, and now we have grown to 550 plus revenue generating businesses that have come out of it. And many of them are practicing devotee entrepreneurs, including these 2 gentlemen sitting in the front here. And we are in 9 countries, 5,200 jobs created. And I also work with the government of India, mentoring startups of India, as well as I was sent to the government of Nepal. There's the Prime Minister of Nepal, who I advised. And over the last few years, there's been multiple multi-million-dollar businesses that have come out of Nepal as well. I'm a guest faculty at multiple IITs, IIMs, and 2 US universities, Northwestern and my own, Illinois Tech. And whatever I'm going to share with you are from what I have practiced, has worked for me, and has worked for the 500 plus startups that we have mentored and helped. Now, coming to our topic, every town and village needs that expansion, scaling up project for ISKCON needs money. And just to give you a contrast, the Mormons, their budget on annual budget is $60 billion, whereas the GBC's budget is $130,000, right? And with that, we're going to every town and village, and that's a little difficult. We are struggling, and most of our congregation is middle-class IT professionals. And it's hard for us to give for Rath Yatra and then give for Janmashtami. Oh, Prabhu, I'm out of money. I've given you that. So that's the struggle that we face, right? And an organization like ISKCON is perpetually cash-starved, not India, but outside for sure. Now, books are the basis, purity is the force, preaching is the essence, and today we're going to talk about utility being the principle, utility. And looking at Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, I verified my facts this morning. This is the place where Srila Prabhupada met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur on the rooftop of Ultadanga building. And the devotees managing it told me, at that time, 100 years ago, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was paying 50 rupees a month rent, when gold was 8 rupees a gram. Imagine, gold was 8 rupees a gram, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was paying 50 rupees for rent of this particular building. And from there, he moved to Bagh Bazar Gauriya Math. So wealth was required, and who was funding it? It was the entrepreneurs of the time, right? So ISKCON needs more entrepreneurs, and that's why my presentation. This is Srila Prabhupada. He actually orchestrated this entire photo shoot, right? With the velvet background and him wearing silk dhoti. And right before that, he had another shoot where he was wearing a torn dhoti, being a sannyasi. And this was Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And in his own words, he said, I came with 40 rupees, and now that I'm leaving my body, I have $400 million worth of temples around the world, right? And again, where does that money come from? Ambarish Prabhu and people like that. So we need more. We have to create Ambarish Prabhus out here, right? So when we grow as an individual, ISKCON also grows. So there might be some things like, oh, but simple living, high thinking, oh, we shouldn't. So those of you who are questioning if I should start a business or not, well, thank God for the plenary session. I think we got a very good understanding of why it's so important. And here are today's learning outcomes. So we're going to go through, is entrepreneurship the right path for me or not? Right? I'm going to ask you a few questions and you'll rate yourself. I won't embarrass you publicly. Don't worry. How to find out what to sell, who to sell to, and aligning our skills and passion to select the market, identify a problem, and build a sustainable business model around it. Now, I'm going to say a few keywords. If you don't understand it, just raise your hand. I'll explain it in a simple way. How to acquire your first 10 How to acquire your first 10 customers, how to recruit the right talent, help you delegate and grow, and some examples. If I have time, I'll share some examples of success stories. Right? So again, this is a very open forum. Nobody's judging. I'm going to spit out a few keywords. So do ask questions if you don't understand it. Yes, Mataj? You just missed my introduction. I think you know me pretty well. Right? We have met before. Yes. All right. Is entrepreneurship the right path for me? So I'm going to ask you 5 questions. And this is going to be interacting, by the way, so have your pen and paper or phone ready. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and I don't want to know what your answers are, but rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 for each question that I ask you, right? This will give you an understanding. Is it worth taking the risk of being an entrepreneur, or am I better off where I am? Is that clear? Okay. The first question. Do you tend to find shortcuts and solutions to mundane problems? Do you tend to, it's like in Hindi it's called jugaad. In English it's like growth hack, right? Here is, something is not here. Let's figure out a way to make it happen. Duct tape it or something, right? Are you that kind of a person who creatively solves problems on a day-to-day basis? That's your nature. On a scale of 1 to 10, you can rate yourself. Feel free to come to the front and sit, because there's going to be a lot of text on my slides. It'll be easier for you to follow if you come to the front. This is not going to be very theoretical. It's going to be very practical. My hope is, at the end of it, you would go out and you'd be like, I know exactly what to do starting tonight. That's the idea, right? So I'm going to give you all the tools. I'm going to have you work hard. Your brain's going to be active. You can't sleep. So end of this, you will know whether you should do this or shouldn't do this. If you should do it, what do you need to do? Next steps. All right. Good. Next one. Are you lazy intelligent type? Prabhupada's lazy intelligent, busy intelligent, lazy fool, busy fool. That means can you get others to work for you? Right? Can you delegate? Is this something that's in your nature? 1 to 10. So we are rating ourselves. Those of you came a little late. We're rating ourselves on 1 to 10 for each question that is here, so that you know whether entrepreneurship is for you or not. The next question is, are you willing to persevere through 2 to 3 years of difficult growth? Because as you're growing your business, it's going to be hard. Are you willing to go through that phase? It takes commitment. It won't happen overnight, but you will enjoy after that for sure. It's like any material promise, right? But no, it's true. Next question is, do you have the burning fire of ambition within you? Is there something that's biting you? I hate my boss. I really need to change this. Or I really need to make a difference. I want to serve Srila Prabhupada. Or I need to give to Radha Gopinath, like we heard at the plenary session. Is there a burning fire, a strong why, a strong reason why you want to build a business? 1 to 10. Rate yourself. So those of you who came in late, we are rating on each one of these questions up on 1 to 10. So we understand if entrepreneurship is for us or not. Is the plenary session over, by the way? Oh, good. Okay, awesome. Oh, they did. Yes, you did. All right. The next question is, will you get support from your spouse and mentor slash guru if you do go on this journey? It's very applicable to us devotees. Will you get the support of your spouse and mentor slash guru if you do pursue this journey? Rate yourself on 1 to 10. All the ratings done? You have some clarity whether you should do this or not? Good. Happy faces. All right, now moving on. So, this is the simplest definition of entrepreneurship that I found. I was building my own business while President Obama came into power in 2008. And he started Startup America. And he used some of us, entrepreneurs, like go to schools and colleges and create job creators, right? So I was in a high school talking about entrepreneurship, and they gave me this plaque that says, can't spell entrepreneur, be one, and hire someone who can. And that's the basis of it. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be an expert, know-it-all. You just have to have the vision. You know what Srila Prabhupada did? When he was incorporating ISKCON, he said, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And even the person who's renting out 26 2nd Avenue was laughing. Brahmananda Prabhu was like, Prabhupada, sure, international? It's a little stretching it. International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He had the vision, right? So, and he got the right people to grow this movement. So that's what we do as entrepreneurs. We started, but then we hire people smarter than us to get the ball rolling. I see a few brahmacharis. It is applicable to your temple businesses, temple projects as well, whatever I'm going to share. So I'm going to cater to your needs as well. So your business starts with you, right? You are the founder. You are the brain behind it. So it's important that you get to know yourself, not in a discover yourself kind of a way, but with your right brain or left brain. Are you analytical or you're more creative, right? Do you tend to be more people-oriented, the Steve Jobs type, or you're the Steve Wozniak type who likes to sit in his own cubicle, don't bother me, let me just build my thing, let me do my thing. The introvert type versus the extrovert type. Whoever you are, know who you are, and find... Prabhu, you can use this chair. It's okay, bro. So know who you are and find a co-founder who is not who you are, right? And is willing to go to the same journey, the same destination. You two will fight a lot, but you will come to good conclusions. That's better than your individual ideas, right? Clear so far? Right brain, left brain? Analytical versus creative. And analytical would be, an example would be accountants. People are good with math, logic. Creative would be advertising, branding, psychology, people skills, right? There's some people who are gifted this way, some people who are gifted that way, and there are very few people who are gifted both ways, like Srila Prabhupada. Futurist. So to start a business, to start any project, you need to look at the future. Like TOVP, when it was being built, they took into account that the Ganga might flood, and it might take over so that's why you see even the first floor is a little risen, right? That's because they expected, they anticipated that there might be water flooding and all of that. So to do a business, you need to understand or at least anticipate what the next 3 to 5 years hold for us. With 5G technology, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, right? What are some things that are going to be in the future? Now, how do you find out? I don't want you to miss anything, so I'm just pausing. All right. So how do we find out? There are TED Talks of talking about the future. There are Google Trends that will predict, depending on what people are searching, what would be, the future needs, right? There are research data available from Nielsen, marketresearch.com. So we get ourselves acquainted with what are people complaining about, what are some problems, where are the gaps that we can fill, right, as an entrepreneur. So the first kind, when you talk to individuals and find out what's happening, is called primary research. Secondary research is everything okay? Okay. The secondary research is when you read on Quora, on Google Trends, on marketresearch.com, and you get data about thousands of people and the trends where we are going. So once you acquaint yourself, now you identify a problem that's dire enough that people are willing to pay for. Privacy, is it a problem? Are people willing? Yes, pain point. But are people willing to pay for it? Yes or no? Well, when WhatsApp declared they're going to use WhatsApp data for ads, Elon Musk tweeted that, you know what? Privacy is gone. Get out of WhatsApp, go to Signal. Millions of people moved to Signal. What happened after a week? They all came back to WhatsApp. Because they'll complain about it, but it's not problematic enough. It is problematic, but it's not problematic enough in their minds that they'll pay for it. So you need to go for a need versus a want. A want is something, when pandemic happens, when recession happens, they shut down. People don't want to pay for it. But if it's a need, food, medicine, doctor, healthcare, if you look at that, people will pay for it no matter what. So your business needs to do one thing and one thing really well. So identify that problem and solve it really well. That way you have focus. A lot of times the problem I see is, I want to do this and that and this and that and this and that. A lot of different things. And with us devotees, there's another problem. I was just sharing yesterday, there were devotees at the Bhaktivedanta Manor. They were coming to meet with me and get business guidance. And almost every devotee was like, Christian Go Raksha, Christian Go Raksha, Christian Go Raksha. I'm like, yes, Bhagavad Gita says that, but there are, you remember, so there are other people, when is the last time you went to a cow protection shelter, or the last time you went to do farming? Never, right? I've been doing IT for the last 25 years. I'm like, well, then do something where your strength lies. So it's very important to understand. Find a problem you understand, a solution that you can actually build, not just like, oh, this looks good on paper. I'm a good devotee. So it's a problem. What is a problem? There's a Vedic definition. A problem is something no one wants, but everyone has to face it, and no one can avoid it. What is such a problem? We know this. What are those 4 problems? Yay! Right? Death is a big industry. On average, people spend $10,000 on funerals and coffins and everything in the US. In India, it's growing. There's a business called Antishti. There are other businesses that are popping up that are monetizing the death industry, right? How you want to die, hospice care, funeral, what kind of food would be served at the Shraddh ceremony, all kinds of stuff. Old age and disease, pharmaceutical industry, healthcare industry, huge money, huge money. People will pay for it. One of my mentees, in Ranaghat, not far from here. He was doing a medicine delivery business. He was making good money. He decided to come up with his own brand of medicine for heart diseases. And he told the doctors in the local area that we will get a 40% commission, don't worry, recommend my medicine, right? He is manufacturing his medicine for 6 rupees and selling it for 230 rupees. Imagine the difference. So giving a doctor 40% is no big deal. So he has some 40, 50 doctors in this area, all recommending his brand of medicine. It's all, it's not like fake medicine. It's the same composition. It's just that it's his brand, and he's making a lot more money. So problems, when they're dire, people pay for it, right? Please don't judge me for ethics and unethics. This is not an ethics class, so I'm just speaking pure business. Right? I get it. Some things are ethical, some things are not, but I'm not getting in that topic. All right. So I'm giving you a couple of examples. As I look at the future, the next 3 to 5 years, mental health and cybersecurity will be 2 major issues, among other issues. Because today we have connectedness. We can get anything we want with the click of a button. But people are more lonely than ever before, even in married, what to speak of single or divorced. People are going through depression, even devotees, more so, right? And there's a lot of help that is required. And no one can help them better than us. People have studied the Bhagavatam, right? So we are in good place. There's a reason why Gaur Gopal Prabhus of the world are doing what they're doing, because it's a need, right? And more devotees are getting there. Cybersecurity. I mean, imagine. We don't even have the laws that are there in the US or UK. Right? So in India, if somebody loses 10 lakh rupees from their bank, they're, should I say screwed? Yeah, they're screwed, right? Nobody's going to help them. Nobody's going to, but in the US, the law is the government requires the bank to reimburse, and then the the government takes care of finding whoever the perpetrators are. So these two are big problems, and those who are solving these are making a lot of money. So I would like you to write down on your piece of paper, what is the dire problem that you're solving or you want to solve, right? Make it really dire. In the sense, something should sound something like lack of, doesn't exist, difficult. So negative terms, right? Don't give me a solution. Give me a problem. I'm the only person who can say that. Give me a problem. So I'll take 1 minute and just write down one problem that is dire enough that you want to solve. And this applies to all the brahmacharis as well. Because in your preaching, you're dealing with either the corporates, you're dealing with the grahastas or the youths, and they all have different sets of problems. A 15 to 18-year-old has a different set of problems. 18 to 24-year-old has a different set of problems. 24 to 35-year-old has a different set of problems, right? When you're a student, when you're earning but not married, when you're married, have kids, when you're going through midlife crisis, all of those are different market segments. So think through, who do you want to target and what problem are they facing? You had a question? Dire means really problematic, really painful. It has a strong pain point that people will pay for it if you solve it. Like cabs, right? Anywhere you go in the world, cabs would say, no, I don't want to go, right? Now you have an app and the cab comes to your doorstep rather than you running after the cab. It's a dire enough problem. You solve it, you pay more, still you want it. So now I would like you to write down two skills that you have that you feel at this time of your life. This is something you're better than others at, right? And two things you're passionate about. And I'll tell you why I'm making you do this. So your passion will connect with the market, right? So let's say you like fashion, you like sports, you like horse riding, music, cooking. So accordingly, you'll choose the market to cater to, because you will understand their problem, you will empathize with their problem, and you'll be able to come up with a solution with the help of your skills. So your skills are your abilities. What ability do you have to design, to code, to build, to strategize, to manage, to recruit? These are skills. Your passion is, this is something I like to do. These are the kind of people I like to be associated with. I'll have a great time if I'm surrounded by sports people, or devotees, or people who are motivational speakers, authors. So your passion, your top two passion, your two things, you're very, very skilled, or better skilled than others. We are devotees, but we have, but we do have, certain skills, or certain things that we love to do. And that's what passion is. Because then we connect with that market. Good? Good to see you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. You need a minute more? Everybody good? You need help, Mataji? Okay. Okay. Should I move on? All right. When you connect these two, so you figure out the market based on your passion. Somebody wants to share their passion? Two skills, two passion? Yes, Mataji. Okay, that's your skill. Got it. Fantastic. Anybody else? Yes, Prabhu. Huh? Marriage counseling is your skill. Great. Great. Okay, so that's your skill. Do you have a second skill? Mediation. Okay? Okay. And your passions, two passions would be? Okay. All right. All right. So the idea is, with your passion, you figure out the market. So for you, it might be counseling online, right? And then what problems are there? You identify from the market. What are they facing? And how to solve them? That's where the skills come in. And you'll realize you don't have all the skills that are required. That's where you build a team. You bring in people who have the skills you lack. Don't bring in your best friend or god brother. Bring in somebody who has the skills that you lack. You know, Krishna says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. I loved it how they said, make Krishna your business partner because he has everything you lack and more. So find a business partner along with Krishna who is having the skills that you lack, and together you can build the solution that you're envisioning, right? And when you put all of this together, you have a business model. What is a business model? It is a formula for making money, right? Think about it this way. Sugarcane juice. You've seen on Mayapur campus, sugarcane juice being made. Sugarcane goes in, juice comes out, right? So your effort, your time, your creativity goes in, comes out revenue. If your revenue is more than your effort and time and everything, all the cost that goes in, then you are profitable. Your revenue is less, you're making a loss, right? That's a simplistic version of the definition. I will go a little complex shortly, but don't worry, you'll understand it. Now, back in the days, it used to be making people want things with advertisements, right? Before internet. Post-internet, we have too many options. We're like, whoa, there's a lot, right? So here, you need to understand what is it that people want and giving that to them, right? And this applies to preaching as well as business. What are people struggling with? If you're dealing with a certain age group, like I said, 15 to 18-year-olds, they're dealing with puberty and becoming an adult and figuring out life and what profession do I choose. When you're in college, you're dealing with study issues, your issues with finances, how to deal with friends, social life. When you're 25 to 35, you're making money, you're not married yet, you're dealing with relationship issues, dealing with like, I want to do something more in life. 35 onwards, you're married, you have kids, and everything is good, but then you're frustrated, you're not getting enough sleep, you're dealing with your spouse who doesn't understand you perhaps, whatever else, right? Yada, yada, yada. So you have to understand what problems they're facing, and then you offer them the solution. So one size does not fit all. Please understand that. Is it visible? Good. We have a good projector here. So people's desirability, the business viability, and technical feasibility, all three have to be there in the innovative business you're building. And innovation doesn't necessarily mean artificial intelligence or whatnot. You have to have a unique selling proposition, right? Is that clear what that means? You have to be unique in some way. You should pop out like a sore thumb. Yeah. Is it possible to do? So technically, is it possible to do? Right? With whatever resources you have, or will it take something very fancy and very expensive? Right? So sometimes we have very big dreams and we have to miniaturize it. Like this TOVP initially existed as a CAD drawing. Right? And then based on the CAD drawing, they started building this whole place up. So sometimes we miniaturize it, make it, phase by phase, generate some revenue, proof of concept, and then we go forward. Like Narshikadev is going to enter this building October this year. And then slowly the deities are going to come in, phase by phase. They couldn't do it all at once, because it's easier that way. So same thing with business. We don't have to, go all out $1 billion in one go. We go 100 rupees. Very good. Congratulations. 1,000 rupees. Congratulations. 10,000 rupees. You're growing massively. That's amazing. That's how you get from point A to point B to point C and then scale up. So what's a business model? Another definition is a business model describes all parts of a company necessary to make money, right? And I'm going to go through all parts, which is, again, don't be scared. It's easy. First thing you need to know is who is my customer, even before you build your product, right? Generally what happens, let me build something that I love. I think everybody would like it. And as devotees, we are trained not to speculate, right? So do not speculate that what you love will be everybody's choice. You need to do that with market research, as we talked about. So understand who is your customer. And when I say understand, I mean to say age group, gender, buying power, geography, buying habits. Like there are startups or businesses in Jammu and Kashmir that we have, and they're like, sir, people here don't have credit cards or debit cards, so it's all cash on delivery. right? So, okay, their online behavior is they will buy, but they will want to pay cash, right? Versus in Calcutta, we would probably pay with debit cards or credit cards or Paytm or whatever else. So, who is your customer? What is their behavior? How to target them? Where do they hang out? What do they watch? What are they searching for? All of this is important for you to understand so that you can build a solution that they would grab onto. A need, not a want. Clear so far? Anybody feeling sleepy? Okay, good. Thank you very much. Appreciate the enthusiasm. Value proposition. What is the value that you're creating, that your business is creating? Which means not like, when you're selling a phone, it's not like, okay, it has fancy camera and this, that. The value is this is my business in my pocket, right? This is my office in my pocket. That's the value. It saves me time. FedEx, what's their tagline? Rest easy. Because when you send something on FedEx, it'll reach tomorrow morning at 12, or tomorrow afternoon at 12, right? So that's the value proposition. What's the value that Krishna consciousness provides? Happiness, right? Peace of mind, shelter. It's a different value for different people. So same way, your business has a value in the eyes of your customers. You need to identify that. What is the value of my business? What is the value of my preaching? Right? How am I solving their problem? Are they becoming better grihastas? Are they becoming better consumers? Are they becoming better fathers, better mothers, better senior citizens because of my product? I'm enhancing their life, solving a problem anyway. There is a saying that I really like, and it's a materialistic saying, which says, if you can help 1 million people solve their problems, you will be a millionaire. If you can help 1 billion people solve their problems, you will be a billionaire. Because byproduct is money. When you solve people's problem, they pay you for it, right? All right. So value proposition, clear? Channels, how do you reach out to your customer? Is it online? Is it offline? Is it through mail? Is it through sales agents? How do you reach out? How does your customer buy your product? Customer relationship, how do they reach out to you if something goes wrong? Is it a chatbot? Is it an email? Is it a WhatsApp? Revenue streams, you should have at least 3 to 5 revenue streams. Is it one time? Is it a recurring monthly basis? Is it an annual fee? What kind of revenue streams do you have and how many do you have, right? Your key resources, what are the key things that you have that creates your competitive advantage? Right? I have my friends who are techies. I have ISKCON as a global family. I have great connections. I have great abilities. Whatever your key resources are. Your key activities, what do you do? I design, I develop, I build, I consult, right? What is your key activity as a business? Key partners. Who are people who grow when you grow? Right? And when you grow, they grow. For example, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was building ISKCON and the Gauriya Math was supposed to help. But apparently, he was not able to get help from them. Who did he partner up with? A Mayavadi. The Mayavadi had something he didn't have. He had students. Prabhupada didn't have anyone. He said, I'll cook at your home. So Prabhupada is offering a service. I'll cook prasadam. And Mayavadi said, you cannot speak though, Prabhupada. You can give some kirtan, but no speaking. Prabhupada said, fine. But Prabhupada, being who he is, they were attracted to him. And soon they were crawling into Prabhupada's little box that he had with no windows, no bathroom, nothing. Swamiji, tell us more. Swamiji, tell us more. Before you know, those students from that Mayavadi fellow came to Srila Prabhupada. And slowly, slowly, they became loyalists. They brought in their friends, and ISKCON happened. Strategic partners, right? And later on, many, many more strategic partnerships Prabhupada created, right? So that's where, as a business, you have to find. In Bengal, especially in India, you'll see, when you're going up the bridge, there is a cycle wala who's holding onto a bus or a truck, right? And they're going at the speed of that bus or truck. That's exactly what strategic. You're small, but there's a big fish out there. You have some offering to give them. They have something to offer you back, and you grow at their speed. That's where growth happens. And lastly, your business model includes the cost structure, your rent, your salaries, internet cost, structural cost, whatever else is there. All of this put together is your business model. So you look at this, you figure it out when you're building a business, and even after your business is successful, if something is not going right, you're kind of stuck, there's a plateau, you go back to this and you take a look. Where is the missing link here? Where am I weak? How much time do I have? 25 minutes? Okay. All right. So, how do I acquire my first 10 customers? Okay, I've built a business model, I have something going on. How do I get my first 10 customers? The first 10 customers is like a validation. Friends, family, and you can also run some social media ads. The whole point is not to make money, but to see are people willing to buy in to what I'm offering. Is it valuable for them? How many of you have heard of Zappos? Okay, nobody has heard. Zappos was a shoe e-commerce company. So what that means is, this guy had an idea, I want to sell shoes online, right? He went to a shoe store, took some pictures of shoes, put it on a simple website, and he told the shoe store owner, like, hey, if I sell any of these shoes, I'll pay you full price for it. He said, fine, go ahead, take pictures. He built a website, started promoting it, and as soon as he sold the first couple of shoes, he shut down the website. He went to the shoe guy, bought the shoes, and shipped them. To him, it was a validation that people are willing to buy shoes online. Then he built a beautiful website and everything else and built it to $1 billion company. Amazon bought it out, and now it's part of Amazon. So point is, this is something you do to test the waters. Before you spend too much money on marketing, too much money going in the dark, you test it. You see if the pricing is right, if the product is right, is the packaging right, are people reacting well to it? And you do that with trusted friends and family. If that is well, then you go all out with your marketing push. An easy example could be Cloud Kitchen, because we as devotees love prasadam, right? So you build a cloud kitchen, you have a WhatsApp group of friends that you deliver to on an initial basis, right? Or you have Zomato, Swiggy. If you're in the US, you use Grubhub or OpenTable. This was an example. So there's a Durgapur, which is not too far from here, NIT Durgapur. There were some students who did this business of delivering food to campus at night between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Because students are studying hard at night, they get hungry, all the restaurants are closed, and this couple of students, they decided, how cool would it be if you offered this business? And they were making money. Kids wanted pizza, samosa at night, and they're offering that. So during the day, they're going to school, and at night, they're making money. So basically having a competitive advantage, something that makes you different, where the competition is less, and you're catering to a gap in the market. Does it make sense? Right? During the day, all the restaurants, you can't compete with them. But at night, when everybody's closed, you are the only one offering it. So you have an advantage. Or your food is vegan or keto or whatever else out there, where you cater to a very niche audience, like a gym goers, right? Okay, we cater to high protein diet. We only cater to senior citizens. There is a juice company in the US who cater to women during that time of the month, right? So that they get the nourishment that they deserve. So, a lot of different ways you can actually make it very, very viable and profitable. And then these are very common options among devotees, right? Consultant, we have the Bhaktivedanta Consulting Group, beautifully doing. But as devotees, we know so much from Bhagavatam that being a life coach, a consultant, a parenting coach, a marriage counselor, these are so easy for us because we have been learning about this. We have received this. We have been on the receiving end. Nobody can do it better than devotees, right? Now, if you're a Gaur Gopal Prabhu type and you can speak well and have a good sense of humor, of course, become an influencer, write books, go give TED Talks, right? And if you don't want to use your brain, and you were like, you know what, I want to do my sadhana, but I want financial freedom, own a franchisee. They will take care of your marketing, they'll take care of your branding, your sales, your business model, everything. All you got to do is just run the show. Be there and run the show. That's it. It's brainless and it's just, consistent money for you, right? Make sure you don't get cheated, by the way. That happens a lot. You're a gifted person. You don't want to build a business, not too ambitious. You were like, you know what? I want to be a freelancer. I can write well, I can sing well, or I can edit videos, or I can do whatever gifts Krishna has given me. I want to sit in my room in the Himalayas, and I want to make money, as a freelancer. Fantastic. Go ahead, do that. The only problem is when you get sick, you won't be making any money. And that's a problem, right? So there's a difference between a freelancer doing everything all by himself or herself versus a business. In a business, you have people to help you. Initially, you're working a lot. Eventually, you're like me, working 6 hours a day, and you have people to work for you. They make money for you. So if you are paying salary, let's say 100 rupees you pay. You don't pay salary, but I'm giving an example. If you're paying 100 rupees, you want to make sure that person is earning you 200 rupees, right? If you're paying somebody $10,000, you want to make sure that person is earning you at least $20,000, right? So that's the kind of people you hire, and slowly you offload. And this is when the magic happens, right? Especially for us devotees. Initially, it's like having a baby. Sadhana, service, all goes out of the window. But as the business matures up, then it frees you up. Vaisheshika Prabhu, should I say this publicly? Maybe not. He makes good money. Let's just put it that way. There was a time he trained up certain salespeople, because he's very good at selling books, right? So he knows how to sell. He trained up certain salespeople, and from them, he had a contract that when you sell, I'll take a small part of your commission. So initial days, he was, training them up. Now, as they sell, he makes money, right? So you set the engine in motion, and then money keeps coming. And as you invest the money, money keeps growing as well. So business, you see the difference? Freelancer, doing all by yourself, kind of inefficient, dependent on you. You have to work till you die. Business means you get the ball rolling, get people on board, and they take care of running the show while you can chant Hare Krishna and serve. And look, keep an eye on the business, of course. This is a statement by Warren Buffett. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work till you die. And that's something I see people day in, day out. In a business, making crores, but then 5% profit. I have to do everything. Oh my God, Prabhuji, please help me. I'm like, first of all, spend 20,000 rupees and get executive assistant. Let somebody who's intelligent take care of your $10 problems, so you can focus on the $1 million problems, right? Generally what happens is, I'm doing everything all by myself. Even our Bhakti Charu Maharaj's project on, those gold leaf altars. So this devotee calls me up, Prabhu, need help. And I'm like, okay, Prabhuji, what's your management structure? All me, Prabhu. I'm like, what's the turnover? It was quite substantial. I'm like, you're running all of that by yourself? Yes, Prabhu, dealing with the truck driver, to dealing with the laborers, to dealing with the customers. I'm like, wow, you're still sane. That's wonderful. Are you chatting? And we were kind of being facetious, but the point is, I told him, at least start delegate. Prabhu, nobody listens to me. Right? So KPIs in place. So I was working. But the point is, you need to have a system in place where you can get the ball rolling, and then you rest. You do what you are supposed to do as a devotee, and let others take care of making you money. But you have to have a goal. You have to have clarity. You have to have the plan for it. And you have to break down that goal into a smaller goal. Something even more smaller, right? Now it seems a little bit more achievable, doesn't it? Then you break it down further to weekly goals, to daily goals. You wake up in the morning, pay your obeisances, chant your rounds, and you write down 3 things on the to-do list that you'll achieve. 3 things, not too much. 3 very pertinent things. Not like I'll go to the grocery, I'll call this Prabhu up. No. 3 things that will lead you to the weekly goal, that will lead you to the monthly goal, that will lead you to the quarterly goal, which will lead you to the annual goal. Now, it won't happen perfectly. Certain days you'll be like, yes, Krishna, today is a good day, productive. Certain days you'll be like, oh, I feel like sleeping all day. I feel so groggy. Fine, take a break. But make up for it the next day. Certain quarters you won't meet the goal. Fine, make up in the next quarter. Like sometimes chanting happens like that for some of us. Tell me about it. Anyway, right? Same thing, but have a plan. So that you know if you're going forward or you're going sideways. A lot of times, I'm busy, Prabhu. I'm doing a lot of things. Busy doing what? Where are you going? It's a lot of chaos, but not much movement towards the goal, not much going forward. So this kind of planning helps you move forward. Then you figure out what kind of roles do you need to have for those goals to be reached, right? These are not people, these are roles. As a business, you need to find people who can do 3 or 4 of these roles. You need Maharathis, right? You need Atirathis. One person can conquer, can fight against 100 people. So you need really good people. Startups cannot afford to have people who are average and ordinary. You need to have people who are at the high skill, high will level. Now you'll tell me, I need money too. And I don't have it. Fine. There's a lot of things available for free. WordPress is free. Shopify, initially it's free, right? Many of these apps that you'll need, they allow a new business to use the services for free or for discounted price for the first 3 years because they know you're struggling. And they can be worth a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And money, Lakshmi Devi, has many names. Did you know that? In this case, cash, credit, favors. My first TED talk was called The Currency of Relationship. Because just by being nice to people, I was able to build $1 million company as a college student, right? Getting 40-year-olds to quit their jobs and to join me. And their time, they're not giving me money, but they're giving me their time and ability, their skills. And they're able to build things for which I would have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of salary, which I didn't have to because I joined on board as partners. And together, with their favor, with help, with connections, right, my university, pulling all these strings together, we were able to put things forward. This is a very, very important concept. I remember 2009 when I graduated, the economy tanked. All the people who were like, we're going to support you, backed off, right? I'll tell you the negative side now. They backed off and were like, bad time. And this gentleman named Dennis Robertson, he's on the board of FCC. He was advisor to the Prime Minister of Malaysia. Big guy, amazing fellow. He sat me down and said, Avello, in Russia, there was a village that had a starvation crisis. People didn't have much to eat. So what they did was, the whole village came together. Somebody had potato, somebody had carrots, somebody had something else. And they put a hot, little saucer of boiling water. And in that, everybody, whatever they had, they put their vegetables in there. They said meat also, I'm not going to say it. Vegetables in there. And they had enough soup for the whole village to survive on. So when you build a business, you might not have all the answers. You might not have everything. Get the people who does. Somehow or other, board of advisors gives you credentials, credibility. People don't trust you, now doors start opening up. Your interns, they do the grunt work for a certificate. Doesn't cost you any money, most of the times. You have your partners, your co-founders. They come in for the dream. Wow, if this happens, it'll change us forever. Let's try a couple of years fulfilling our dream, right? So you get people on board. Everybody is dreaming. Everybody wants to be big. You are the person bringing it all together. Srila Prabhupada, example again, tells Brahmananda Prabhu, we should not be paying electricity bill. We are doing the highest service to mankind. Brahmananda Prabhu says, Prabhupada, that's not how it works here in America. You go to the electric office and you get it done. He went, he came back. I told you, Prabhupada, won't happen. Prabhupada went in, he did some magic. He said, our electricity bill doesn't have to be paid. Right? How he did it, nobody knows. But the point is, we need to learn that from Srila Prabhupada. Dine upon, negotiating the book prices. You know the story if you've read Lilamrita. I don't have time to explain. But the point is, understand money has many names. Resources are available, if not in the form of money, but in the form of friendships, favors, cash, credit, all of that. Right? A simple example, a t-shirt, you're in the clothing business, a t-shirt business, you can basically print t-shirts on vistaprint.com if you have a credit card. You print 100 t-shirts. Let's say they cost, how much? Let's say, I'm just going to make it easy. They cost 100 rupees. How much is that? 10,000 rupees? Huh. So 10,000 rupees you spent. You sell the t-shirt on Myntra or Instagram or wherever else. Within 30 days, you'd sell those t-shirts, let's say, for 1,000 rupees. How much did you make? No, 1,000 rupees, 100 t-shirts. That's 100,000, right? You made some profit. By the time to pay your credit card, you pay it back. What's your profit? Am I the only one doing math? Yeah, there you go. Bad numbers, but good example. Get the point? So credit teaches you that. So let's say you take a loan. Most of us devotees hate loans, right? But if a bank is giving you a loan in India, you get the loan for like whatever, 10%, 12%, and your business is capable of making, let's say, 30%, 40% profit, it's absolutely worth it because in the difference is your profit. So it's worth it to build with other people's money, make the profit, return the money. Now the fear is, what if it doesn't work out? And that's why I'm telling you the science of how to make sure it works out, right? Small risks, phase by phase, little by little, go for the need, not the want. These are the things that make sure you don't fail, as most people fail when they just speculate and go into the dark. Sell the vision and recruit a high-performing team of advisors, right? You have to show your team, your advisors, the people you're bringing on board, the diamond that's hidden within the coal, right? That's an ability I can't teach you. That's something you have to see first. You know the Crazy Peter story? Some of you do, some of you don't. So Crazy Peter was a guy who was drug addict in France. Prabhupada somehow gave him shelter in a temple. He was cleaning the floors, cleaning the pots. Nobody thought he could do anything better. He could hardly speak. One day he saw the book distributors going for book distribution. He said, I want to come with you and distribute Prabhupada's books. They said, you can't even talk. What will you distribute books? No, I want to go. By the time the devotees got to the parking lot, they had their breakfast. Crazy Peter was out there selling books. They're like, oh God, what did he do with the books? He can't sell them. He's giving out for free. He came back with an empty bag. All the books were sold and he had donations. He said, how did he do it? I just told him. Prabhupada saved me. He will save you too. Prabhupada saved me. He will save you too. And people believed him because he was genuine. He believed it. And people believed his genuineness. So when you want to show people your business can be something life-changing, you need to have that conviction yourself first. You're like, I'm not sure. I'm going to keep my job. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm not sure. Backup plan. Oh, God, just come on board. Risk your life. No, I'm not going to risk my life for you. You're not sure yourself. So you need to first convince yourself that this will work. And seeing the conviction, others will join you. And that's something that is required for building a team. And like I said, high skill, high will. We can't take people who are slackers, right? We have to go for people who are over here, willing and able, high skill and can-do attitude. If you tell them, get this done, they will figure out a way to get it done, not give you excuses. And that is what Srila Prabhupada also did. When building ISKCON, he had the best of the brightest people. Go to Japan and translate my books in Japanese and preach there. Sudama Maharaj, you were a Japanese in your past life. Okay. Went to Japan and opened up the Tokyo Center and voila. Right? Who are the people you need? Initially your co-founders. Then your executive team who will execute for you. Your designers, your salaried employees. Your outsourced team, your lawyers, your accountants. Your board of advisors, people who give you credibility. Your interns who do the grunt work. You invest in strategic partners who help you grow when you're ready to grow, right? Where do you find them? Anywhere you can find them, But try not to hire devotees. This is a warning. This is something I was told, disciplined succession. Gopal Bhatta Prabhu told me he does not hire devotees. Why? Vaishnava Aparadh. Right? Because you can't yell at them. Prabhu, get this done. Prabhu, you're talking to me like that? Today's Janmashtami, Prabhu. And we have so many celebrations. I mean, more time they'll be in temple serving than they'll be actually at the business. So it's better not to hire devotees unless they understand the professional attitude of it. And the fact that this is service. Doing business is service for us. This is ringing the bell on the altar. This is no different. Prabhupada said that. So unless one has that clarity, please don't hire devotees. Right? Because trust me, I have done this myself. I have a bad name for it. In Delhi area, I had 3 devotees. Yeah, yeah. Just trust me on it. All right. Social media, very, very useful, right? This is actually how Uber was built. Travis lost his job. Travis is looking for a business developer. Ryan lost his job. Ryan said, "Hey, email me." Travis is like, "I'm looking for a business dev manager." And this fellow come online. They meet on Twitter and they connect. I have done so many deals on LinkedIn. How many of you are on LinkedIn? Okay, well, better than yesterday's numbers. But be on LinkedIn, connect with people. Your network is your net worth, so it's important that you know more people. It does take time. It is going to take time. You will fumble and fail. Many people are not successful because they fail to fail enough number of times to let fear hold them back. When you were a kid, you were fumbling and falling more and walking less. Today we walk more and hopefully don't fall much, right? But you have to give failure a chance so success can come out. It's a natural thing. My name is Avello. My legal name is Avello Roy. My mother decided to name me after Thomas Alva Edison. Alva to Avello. And Thomas Edison is famously known for the light bulb. And how many times did he fail? I don't know who counted, but yeah, right? But he failed a lot of times to build the light bulb. Is he crazy? No, that's how innovation works. You try, it doesn't work. Prabhupada tried in Jhansi, didn't work. He tried in Butler, didn't work. He went to New York, he waited for a whole year. Finally, boom, Hare Krishna explosion, right? Okay. So that's a crucial thing, and I'm going to tell you, you are going to fail. Let me guarantee you that, but don't let that deter you from moving on this path. This is my story, right? I graduated in 2009. I bounced into an economy where no investor is investing. We were building a hardware startup, and it requires a lot of investment. And all the other startups kind of fled off. They got jobs or they got everything else. In my case, me and my co-founder didn't know anything else. So we started selling cheese biscuits on the streets of Chicago to survive because we had 1 month's rent left, right? Literally. My mother was like, "Oh, my son studied engineering to sell cheese biscuits on the street." It was literally a tent on a pavement, and I had this much space that I borrowed from a friend, this much, where we could stack up our cheese biscuits. We had a strategic partner, ISKCON Chicago, right? So my temple president was my mentor. He said, "Okay, you can," because people were like, "You need $2 million insurance, licensed kitchen." So he said, "You can use the temple kitchen when it is not in use." So we used the temple kitchen. On Saturday, we baked. And Sunday, we stacked up the table with cheese biscuits, gave some prasadam samples. People loved it. We sold out in 2 hours. My friend was selling coffee. Week after week, our space grew from here to here to here. Finally, the coffee guy left. He's like, "You know what? You're doing a much better job. Nobody's buying our coffee. We'll just give you the whole table." We're like, "Great. Beads, books." Right? It became a preaching opportunity. So prasadam cheese biscuits and then preaching. People are going to Sunday feast. We are having so much fun. 600% profit. Working only 2 days a week. Saturday, baking. Sunday, selling. That's it. Right? I learned marketing and branding from there. Packaging, branding. I was like, whoa, this is how people react when you change the packaging this way. It was amazing. It was the MBA in 3 months. But we didn't quit. Right? And that's why we got our funding and we went ahead. We had less competition against. I'm going to tell you a story about these 2 ministers of a king. We'll end with this. This king offered, one of you can have $1 million. The other one can have 1 cent, doubling every day for the next 30 days. So one guy believed, who knows if I will live tomorrow or not. Let me take the $1 million right now and have fun. The second guy decided, I'll wait for a month. I think I'll live that much. 10 days, not much. 20 days, not much. Till 27th day, you still have not reached $1 million. But then magic happens. The compounding effect. Magic happens. Google cost-benefit analysis. It's an economic tool to figure it out. I can spend some one-on-one time with you. I can't give you like in a short answer. But everything has a monetary value. Like, for example, my time, my hourly rate, there's a monetary value to it. If I'm giving you my time, 2 hours, there's a monetary value to it. If you're having there's no free dinners, they say. Right? No free lunches. Okay. Any other questions? I love Prashadam. Any other questions? Yes, Prabhu. Uh-huh. So basically, it's a brand that is already a business. They're going to do everything for you. You're just going to run the show and have a fixed income that they guarantee you. Taking a franchisee. Giving a franchisee can be very big business, very scalable, right? But it takes time. You have to build a brand first to build the franchise. Yes, Matthew. It's a software that you can get some, it's a freemium software for e-commerce. Our next speaker, I think, is here, right? Okay, so I should pause. All right, if you have questions, you can just talk to me one-on-one during lunchtime or now.